Just to kind of break the ice, what is the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning, and what is the last thing you think about before you go to sleep at night?
The first thing I think about every morning is what my day is going to look like. So I immediately wake up and think about what's my first meeting, and who I'm meeting with, and certainly what it almost always has to do with Long Beach. So that's always the first thing I think about when I wake up every morning. And usually the last thing I think about is I sort of review how the day went, and then what I have to do for the following day or week. And usually almost always revolves around city business and making sure that Long Beach stays strong.
Describe your leadership philosophy as mayor of the city.
I know that being the first of anything means a lot for the communities you represent. So
Absolutely.
I am Latino, I'm openly gay, I'm young. Those are all things that are just part of who I am. And while they certainly have informed my decisions and they've informed who I am, I'm not, I didn't run for mayor to represent a specific group. I ran to be mayor of the entire city of Long Beach, no matter what you look like or how old you were or your age or anything else. And so for me, I think leadership is about representing everybody. And I think if you're a true leader, you're not leaving people behind. I think true leaders don't immediately go and try to go to the lowest common denominator. I think leaders are about lifting people up, are about working with their colleagues, about working together as a team to do the right thing. Leaders, I think, inspire. I think leaders bring people together. They don't tear people apart. And I think that's what I try to bring to Long Beach. I think I'm really proud of the city council. We have great people. I'm so thankful that I look around the table and everyone is trying to bring people together. And so I think they and the city are at a really good point in the city's history. And I want to just encourage them to do the good work that they're doing. And hopefully I can lead the city in a great direction. I think we're already doing that. And so all of that to me is important. And the last thing I'll say is an incredibly important part of leadership is being kind and being a nice person. And I think if you're kind and you're a nice person, it gets you very far.
How much do you love being mayor and why?
Well, I love being mayor. Obviously, I think you'll run for mayor because you have to live your city. And I love Long Beach. I've lived here for over 20 years. I think it's a great place. It's got all these great people. So for me, the city is fantastic. I love Long Beach, I think, because of the people that are here and the diversity of the city. It's generally, I think, a very business-friendly but yet progressive city in many ways. It supports all types of people, no matter who you love, the color of your skin, your economic background, where you went to school. I think it just kind of supports everyone, and I really like that about Long Beach. I also think it's a great city that supports education, which is really important to me as a teacher, and so I just love the city.
Okay, there is a very strong sense of optimism in the city of Long Beach, and it's not something that people have said once or twice. It's a very common vein in conversations, and you are at the epicenter of that. A lot of people look to you, they look up to you, and they credit you with a sense of rebirth since you took office last summer. Why do you think the optimism is so strong at this time?
Well, I think I think that it's just naturally. I think when there's new leadership after having had a leadership that's been in place for a while, people are always going to feel, I think, change naturally. I think it's also because we have a very diverse and new city council. So we have 5 new members. That's the biggest change we've had on the council in a really long time. So when you have a new mayor and you have new leadership, I think there's naturally going to be some excitement about there being some positive change. I also hope that it's partly because I'm also a very positive person. So I don't like to focus on negativity. I think that's not productive. I like to focus my energy on what we can do to make things better and focus on supporting those that are doing good work and then just improving that work.
You've made a very strong effort to fill commission, committee, board appointments, and to include as many diverse people of diverse backgrounds as possible. Why is that so important to you?
Well, I just think that our city appointments should reflect the city. I think we have a diverse city. And so our commission appointments, board appointments should reflect that diversity. One area where I've been very committed to is increasing the amount of women that serve on commissions. So we have strategically put in place very well qualified women who are at the top of what they're doing in their profession to advise and serve as city commissioners. And we've also tried to include other members of the community that maybe weren't as represented in the past so that they had a voice at the table. And that includes geographic diversity. It's important that, parts of West Long Beach and North Long Beach and Central that don't have as much representation on commissions also get representation.
As an educator, how important is it to focus on the education programs in the city and to integrate them into the economic development plan that you have, as well as tie them all into the technology and the innovation program that you've introduced?
Well, I think I'm very proud of the college system that we have. I think we have a great university. I think we have an all-star community college and a strong unified school district. And so I think it's very strong all the way around. I'm really proud of the leadership at all three. I think in the president of Cal State Long Beach, Jane Connolly, the superintendent president of Long Beach City College, Eloy Oakley, and the superintendent at Long Beach Unified, Chris Steinhauser, you have three excellent leaders that I'm very proud of, and I think they do a great job for all three institutions. I think what we can do to make them better as a community is be supportive of the great work that's happening in the classroom. As someone that's been in the classroom, I think you always want to support the great work that the faculty are doing. You want to support the students. I think we got to create more student housing. I want to see us focus more on universal preschool, which I think is really important. Internships and linked learning, so providing young people an opportunity to learn, and then ensuring that we have the college completion is going in the right direction. The president of Long Beach City College said a couple months ago that we're not graduating students fast enough through the community college system, which is where a vast majority of our local students go at the college level, and some of them are taking 5, 6, 7 years in the community college system, and that's really unacceptable. And I think that he and the board and others recognize that we have to really make community college accessible so we can go to college, learn a skill, learn a trade, or transfer, and do that as fast as possible. So those are areas, I think, where we can be supportive of the education system.
How would the foundation of a solid education program in the city facilitate your goals for the economic development?
Well, I think first, the best thing you can do for economic development is invest in education. So I think that's number one. You have to have a strong education system. Beyond that, we're doing a lot of really great things. We've reestablished our economic development commission at the city. We have launched a new department focused on economic development, and we're also really focused on creating a long-term economic development plan. So all of that is part of a real focus on economic development. I've been hosting large gatherings of developers and investors and workers to have conversations about how we move forward in a way that really supports business. I'm a pro-business, pro-growth type of person, but I think that as we do that, we also got to think about the whole picture, and that means supporting workers. It means ensuring that our jobs are good jobs, that they pay a decent wage. I think all of that is part of the economic development picture.
How is the issue of homelessness for adults and children being addressed by the city?
Well, I think Long Beach is one of the best kind of comprehensive homeless initiatives around. We have a very large population, like most urban centers. I mean, our homeless count every year, while it's been pretty stable, it's still larger than we'd like it to be. But I think we have comprehensive services. A lot of the people that we have on the street, unfortunately, have really severe mental health challenges, and so it's very difficult to get them the kind of care and support that they need. But with the county, our mental health programs, our health department, we try to provide as much support as possible. We try to find them housing. We try to reunite them with their families. And so we continue to do that work. We have an initiative to end veteran homelessness that we're working on right now, which we hopefully will do at the end of this year. We think we're actually on track to do that. So those are all part of the homeless initiative. But really, that issue can't just be solved by government. It's got to be a collaboration between communities of faith, the business community, jobs, housing. So there's a huge, complex solution to trying to house more people. But we will never, we don't have the answer. How do you solve homelessness? That hasn't been done in large urban cities. And so we are trying to working our way through that process, and we work at it obviously every day.
There is a renaissance in the arts movement in the city involving music and entertainment and obviously visual arts. What is your role and what is the role of your administration in ensuring that this renaissance encompasses all aspects and all people of the city?
Arts are very important. I think every successful big city has a very successful arts scene. And the arts, first and foremost, are the most important in our schools. And I think that it's incredibly important that particularly at the elementary school level, at the middle school level, that we're investing in the arts and that young people have the opportunity to be creative, whether it's music or dance or it's sculpture or it's whatever interests young people. The arts are really, really important. And then clearly that translates into a very vibrant city. Cal State Long Beach is an incredibly large art school. It's one of the largest art schools anywhere in the country, certainly west of the Mississippi. And we produce a lot of artists out of there, as well as artists that are just grassroots and that are in the city. And so I think we have to embrace that and support that, kind of get out of the way when we need to and let them create their art. I'm a big supporter of the arts. I personally attend a lot of art gallery openings and concerts. I'm a regular at some venues, so I think we'll continue to support it.